Stop scrolling. I'm going to show you how to sublimate this anti-Valentine's Day tumbler. First important step, wipe your tumbler down with your microfiber cloth. Wrap your image around your tumbler and make sure the image is straight. I like to leave a little white on the edge so it overlaps to prevent any ghosting. Here you can see where that overlap is, and the overlap is where you want to start applying your heat tape first. My preferred method is to add a few horizontal strips of the tape before I add any of the vertical strips. Here you really want to make sure that that seam is pressed down tightly because you do not want there to be any air escaping. So I like to use my fingernail and kind of force that tape into that crevice. This piece of tape is very important because you want to push it in as well to avoid any of that ghosting. Really use your fingernail to get into that crevice. When applying heat tape to the edges of your tumbler, always do it in small sections and make sure that you're pressing down as you're doing it. Again, patiently take your fingernail and make sure that that tape is pressed down. And now it's time for everyone's favorite part where I shut the fuck up so you can watch what's going on. Okay, now flip your tumbler over and repeat the same process on the other side. And I cannot stress this fucking enough. Make sure that you are pressing that tape down every single time. I promise you the extra time that it takes to do this will pay off in the end. So let's finish up this side and I will be back. Okay, now that we're done applying the heat tape, we're going to take our scraper tool and really make sure that that tape is holding that paper completely flush with the tumbler. Take that same tool and go back and make sure that you reinforce every single piece of tape. Once the tape is done, we're going to go ahead and apply the shrink wrap. Next, take your heat gun and we're going to make the shrink wrap adhere to the tumbler. Just slowly move your heat gun up and down and turn your tumbler as you're doing this. And you'll notice that the shrink wrap will start to get tight. Go around a couple more times and get every single bump or bubble that you see. And hit the bottom and top of your tumbler with that heat gun because we gotta make sure the shrink wrap is tight there to avoid that annoying ghosting shit. Here's the fun part. Let's get to cooking. I like to keep my convection oven set anywhere between 375 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Set a timer for 4.5 minutes and no turning is necessary with a convection oven. When the time is up, put on your heat resistant gloves because that bitch will be hot. Start peeling off that shrink wrap paper and tape as quickly as you can. Just like that, your badass self just sublimated a tumbler. So if you like vulgar language and tutorials, then you should give a thumbs up and subscribe, bitch.